You're muted.
No, I'm not. Good evening. How are you
How
doing
you
this evening?
doing? Okay,
Doing great. Doing great. Let's see here.
that's good.
Make sure I got everything all started up here. Yep. Doing good. How are you doing this evening?
I'm okay. Just trying to make my difference in the world.
Well, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you do.
Well, I don't know. Try.
That's what has to happen before anything else does, right?
Mm-hmm. Talking to a guy the other day, and he was saying about network marketing.
Yeah.
People just want it net marketing. They don't want to do the work.
That's pretty close to
They
true.
they just want the net. They want the net gain, but not the work.
That's pretty close to
But
true.
there's work in the middle of network marketing, so
You're right.
I thought that was profound.
Yep.
How's your weather in Georgia today?
It's been a beautiful day today. We still got a lot of pollen floating around the air, but other than that, it's been beautiful, sunshiny, warmed up, nice.
Hmm. It was in the 70s here in Ohio. It was comfortable.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think it was still in the 70s here, but
Hmm.
it was high 70s if it was.
Hmm.
I think they promised us 2 or 3 days like that coming up here.
Well, they promised us a close to 70 weekend for Saturday and Sunday,
Wow.
so we'll take it. We're supposed to get rain tonight, but then it's supposed to clear out and make room for a nice weekend. We haven't had a nice weekend in months, it seems.
Hmm. I don't know. Hadn't been too bad here, except it's been pollen's been so bad. It's just
Hmm.
even when
Got
we
your
have a
allergies up in a fit?
yeah, it really plays havoc with them. It,
Hmm.
yeah, it looks like we're gonna be in the high 70s for the next week or so. Well, Monday we're gonna get a little rain. It's gonna cool off just a little bit for a couple days, but
Hmm.
it'll work its way back up.
Yep. 70s are nice.
Yep.
That's my ideal temperature.
I think I have to agree with you. I do agree.
I spent the day at the VA today.
Oh, you did?
They put a crown on one of my teeth at the dental clinic, and they gave me a prescription for a new contact for my right eye because the old one don't fit no more.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully I'll be able to see again.
Out of two eyes, huh?
Yep.
Well, that's good.
And I have to go back next Thursday for a cleaning of my teeth.
You'd think they would have done that first.
Well, the VA don't always do the things the way they're supposed to do.
Well, that's true. Good evening. This is Mike in Georgia, and you've reached the winning team training call. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Good evening, Mike. This is Don.
I kind of figured that was. Good evening to you. Glad to have you in here tonight,
Hi, Don.
as always.
Hello, Reverend Dave.
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Can't complain.
I put a couple new links. One new link, but one new material on the link for IBO Exchange. Have you seen
Yeah,
them?
I seen it today.
What did you think of the one with about He Is My King?
Yeah, that's the one I seen.
That's
That
pretty
was pretty
pretty
good.
pretty unorthodox, but that's what I want.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mike, I finally seen your stuff
Yeah,
yesterday
I've had
and today.
I've had 2 hits on each one of my ads in the last 2 days, so that's encouraging.
But I'll tell you where I seen it. I stayed long enough to go all the way through the nines
Yep.
until you come into the eights, and you were you were the last one before the eights.
Oh,
They were links to PRs,
yeah. I do have a couple of those up.
but I seen you yesterday and today, and both times I don't know why, but you ended up right on the end. Just
At least it's getting in
with
there.
the
That's all. That's all that matters,
yeah. But that may be why maybe people don't stay long enough to get all the way to the end of the nines, and maybe that's why they haven't been seeing them. They haven't been
Maybe
spending as much time on there.
maybe that's they don't do what I do. I always start at the back end and work forward. I don't know why. I just do.
I haven't been spending the time on there that I had been. Usually, I've been into the fours before, but now usually if I get to the eights, then I quit. If I stay that long.
Yeah. I don't really. I guess I don't stay long enough for it, and I don't recollect ever getting down to the fours. So
Yeah, they're in there, but you got to stay there quite a while to hit them.
I usually have
But
one
I see
screen just
Reverend
running
Dave
that
quite
all
a
the
bit.
time. Yeah, I see Dave a lot. Now, of course, I've seen you a lot. I've seen you a lot tonight already. And Karen, not Karen, Chris, Chris,
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah, I see her a
Cara
lot.
or Cara Fotis or whatever her name is. I see her IBO starter pack and stuff like that. So there she is again.
I've been on long enough this evening that I'm into the eights, and I've excuse me, I've been getting a lot of Glenda Baker's ERs.
Hmm. Maybe somebody ought to tell her if she just bump it up a little bit, she might get in sooner.
Yeah,
I heard some interesting trivia, Don. You want to hear it? I already told Mike.
yeah.
In the South, y'all is singular, while all y'all is plural.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just found that out. I thought that was interesting. And in Detroit, making eye
Dave,
contact is considered an aggressive gesture.
Dave, I gotta correct something here. It's not really all of y'all, it's you all.
Oh, you all.
Hmm.
Okay, well, maybe it was a different southern state.
The only joke I ever heard about y'all was when I was a younger man. The joke was a northern girl says you can, and a southern girl says y'all can.
But like Dave said, y'all is singular and you all is plural.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I use the term y'all myself, and every time I do in front of my grandson, he corrects me. Calls me a hillbilly.
Oh boy.
well,
I remember when I was younger, I said to my granddaughter, I said, Chrissy, will you still love me when I'm old and gray? And she goes, oh, Grandpa, you're already old and gray. Getting no respect.
Yeah, today no respect.
well, both of y'all are still young. Y'all catching up, but y'all young.
Well, as soon as you stop progressing, Mike, I'll catch you.
Ain't likely to happen, I guess.
Hope it won't happen anytime soon, though.
See, David's not with us tonight.
I haven't heard him yet. I don't know. I hope everything's all right.
Yeah, he said he was sick the other day, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Does either of you talk to Michelle?
I did today, as a matter of fact.
Let's see who else joining us in there. This is Mike in Georgia. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hi, Mike. It's Sandy in North Carolina.
Well, good evening, Sandy.
How are y'all?
See, Sandy's a good Southern girl too.
Yeah, definitely. Southern Jersey.
Oh, we don't count that. We count to North Carolina.
I'll tell you, that's one of those y'all things that just catches on, man. You say it, you don't even know you're saying it.
Yeah, that's true.
We were talking, Sandy. Did you know y'all is singular and all y'all is plural?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Mike disagrees and says you all is plural.
Actually, technically, when you use the phrase y'all, you could be referring to a singular, or you could be referring to a whole group, a whole crowd. That's one of them multiple purpose words.
Yes.
Is that kind of like ain't a word because the teacher said it ain't?
Yeah. Problem is, you can pull the Webster dictionary out and find that word in the Webster's dictionary. So now, is it a word?
I guess it is now.
Well, I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
Do you wash your car or do you wash it?
I don't do either one while the pollen's blowing.
That's another one my grandson always corrects me on. I used to say wash all the time. And he would correct me, so he's got me saying wash now.
My goodness.
It's like out east, they call, like a Coca-Cola, they call it soda or tonic. But we call it in Ohio, we call it pop.
Yeah, I used to live out in Pennsylvania for quite a few years, and I got in the habit of calling it soda. And when I moved back here to Indiana, I used the word soda a couple of times, and people would say, "You're not from around here, are you?"
My high school band took a trip to Washington, D.C. We went to basically a town full of diplomats. I think it was Maryland or Virginia. I can't remember where it was, but we did an exchange concert with another band, and they came to Ohio, and then we went out to Washington. And they took us a tour of Washington D.C. But me and a drummer stayed at this one kid's house with his parents, and his parents said, "Would you like a soda?" Well, the only soda I knew of was like soda water that you put in scotch. I'm thinking, is he offering me a mixed drink? I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty straight laced. And my friend said, "Yeah, I'll take one." They brought us out each a Coke. I'm thinking, soda?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've always said soda. Dave.
Yeah.
Well, I've used the term pop and I've used the term soda, but here in Georgia, it's sacrilegious to call it any soft drink anything but Coke.
Yeah, yeah.
So going these restaurants that don't serve Coca-Cola, I don't frequent them too often, but I go into one and I ask for a Coke and they come out with this. Well, will Pepsi do? I tell them, no, I really wanted a Coca-Cola. Good evening. This is Mike in Georgia, and you've reached our winning team training call. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hi, Mike. It's Marnie. How are you?
Well, Marty, I'm glad to hear you in here. We're doing great. How are you doing this evening?
Not too bad, thanks. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Marty.
Marnie.
We've got a group in here. We were discussing different words and how they're used in different areas and different places of the country there. Dave,
I was going to add, I'm from southern Indiana, and when I was a kid, we always referred to pop or soda as sody.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa called it sody pop. Yeah.
Soda pop.
Yeah. He was originally from Illinois.
Well, see, I'm from Mississippi originally.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be sorry, but soda and soda pop was probably pretty popular phrases there. But getting over here in Georgia, it's like I said, it's just sacrilegious to call it anything but Coke. It don't matter what it is. It could be any soda pop or any soft drink, and it's a Coke. So you go in and ask for a Coke, and they ask you which kind of Coke you want.
Which kind of Coke? Only one kind.
Where's Pepsi located? Isn't it Atlanta?
No,
Bite your tongue.
I want to say it's over in North Carolina somewhere.
I think you're right. I don't know for sure.
I know it's extremely popular drink in North Carolina, that Pepsi Cola. And well, they got Red Rock all over the South. You just got to hunt for it nowadays. That used to be the best, was the Red Rock Cola. I don't know if any of y'all experienced
know
that one
about
or one or not. When I was a kid, that's what we all had was Red Rock Cola.
I thought they called it Red Gut.
That.
No.
Used to drink a lot of RC cola.
Well, there's two different things. There's RC Cola and there's Royal Crown Cola. And we used to call them Royal Crown, but a lot of people around us called them RC. And when I was a kid, we'd walk down, and we'd probably have to walk a couple miles down the gravel road, and we'd get a Royal Crown and a moon pie. And there was an elderly gentleman sitting there on the porch rocking of the little country store there, and I asked him if he wanted if he'd like to have a Royal Crown. I was willing to buy it for him. I asked him if he'd like to have a Royal Crown, a moon pie. He said, "No, sir, I can't have any Royal Crown. I'd take an RC though if you could get one." I said, "I think I can arrange that." So, you know, every time after that, if I ever saw him, I was careful to call it RC and not Royal Crown.
It's like the first time I went into a bar, and my friend said, "I'll have a brew," and bartender says, "What do you?" He said, "You want one too?" I go, "No, thanks. I'll have a beer."
Well, I don't know how we tie all this into business, except that talking to people is an important part of the business. And
You
sometimes it
don't
helps.
talk, you don't make money.
That's true. And sometimes it helps to know the proper words to use. You know, so I guess that can tie it in. We're learning something here tonight. Has anybody got anything business related they want to bring out to the group tonight? If not, we'll continue.
Well, Mike, I was going to say that thing I told you about network marketing.
Yeah.
I'll share it with the group if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, a 79-year-old gentleman who's still working a regular job as a construction engineer, and he mentioned that people don't understand network marketing. Right in the middle is the word work. They just want the net marketing. They want the net gain, but not the work that goes between the lines. And that's why people fail so often, because they're not willing to work. I'm finding that's very true. The people have all sorts of good intentions and all sorts of good ideas, but until you get into action and start working, they won't do anything for you. And I think that sometimes I know we're the exception to the rule because we're all working it. Because I see the PRs on IBO Toolbox, and I see other signs that people are working, but for some reason people seem to think it's going to be easy, and it's never easy. Nothing worthwhile ever is easy, and that's all I wanted to say.
I agree, and it's like work from home. You know, they want to disregard the work.
From home.
Unfortunately, probably 90% of the people want to work from home. They don't want to work at home. They want to work somewhere else, and they want someone else to write them a paycheck, and they don't know how limiting they are, how much they're limiting themselves.
Hmm. Well, I saw a sign on a posting, and it said that so many people have the mixed view that they're going to get rich, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know that these people that we see on stage, these different rallies, put their time in, and they worked for a while. They worked hard. And I think sometimes we forget that before the glory comes the labor. So I'm just like to encourage everybody just to keep doing what you're doing. Do something for your business constructive every single day, and you'll eventually get there. It's a guarantee, because we're all involved in good businesses, and they're all going to make us a lot of money if we persevere.
I think a lot of that attitude comes from people with crazy promises about, you're going to make $1,000 by the end of the week. Just, do this or just do that, and you'll make $1,000. So people just expect it. That, they don't have to do anything, just that one thing, and they're, going to make all this money. So I think it's an attitude that has developed because of the advertising, the misleading advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, people are lazy. They're going to take the easiest path.
Well, have you seen the one that says I made $710,000 in 28 days? To me, why do people even look at that? Because it doesn't hardly happen to anybody. It might have happened to him, but I'll guarantee he put in the groundwork before, and it probably took quite a few years before he made that $710,000. It didn't just happen on a fluke.
Right. Ah. That's
Yep.
terrible. False expectations.
That's the one thing we're all fighting, is the people that get out there and give the business, the industry, a bad name by promising people they're going to be rich tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's going to take another day or two yet.
Here's one. I was looking for this because I'm on IBO and I'm just welcoming the newbies. And there's one in here. This guy says, "Hey guys, I started 2 weeks ago with MCA and made $5,000. Click here." 2 weeks ago.
Oh man, that's the ones we want to try to educate. That's another good Southern word, by the way, educate.
Okay, I like that.
They don't know how much damage they're actually doing by advertising things like that, promoting things like that. Even if they did it, which is highly unlikely, it's, they're doing more harm than the good. Harm to themselves, to their business, and harm to the industry as a whole by saying that. And because unfortunately we get too many people come in and expect that to happen to them, and when it doesn't, then they go around and telling everybody that the whole industry is a scam. And of course, I worked in electrical maintenance. I worked in there for probably 40 years, more than 40 years, 45 years, and I made some real good money towards the end. Before I retired, I made some real good money, but it took me the 45 years to get there to make that kind of money. Like David said a while ago, I put in my time and I put in the effort, and I got there. I started out making less than $1 an hour. I most certainly did. Well, no, not there at that one company. I did have to move from to 2 or 3 different companies. 4 or 5 different companies before I got there, but time I finished, I was making some really decent money, some money that a lot of people were envious of me, especially family members that still working 9 to 5 and for minimum wage, and they were real envious of me because of what I was making. But I tried to tell them I started out at the bottom, and I had to work, and I had to work hard to get my way to the top. So, it's the same thing with this industry. People don't realize that you don't start out at the top. You start at the bottom, and you put in your time, and you do what is taught by people like the people on the winning team that can teach them the right way. And if you do that and you put in your time and you stay with it, you'll eventually, just like David said, you will make it to the top. You will wind up out there on that stage telling everybody, I made my $700,000 or I made my $1 million. But I just hope and pray when you do get to that point that you'll be sure to point out the fact that it didn't happen to start with. It happened after our hard work. I shouldn't say that. That scares too many people off, doesn't it? Hard work.
I don't especially want to go to the top by myself either. I want to take other people with me, and that's my motivating factor. Is I want to take as many people, as many of my friends and family, and everybody who wants to, with me, because you don't want to be sitting on top of the hill and you be all by yourself. It gets very lonely.
It's lonely at the top.
Like Dexter used to say, let's walk the beaches of the world together. Well, you have to be together to do that. and
That's true.
you you can't you don't want to just go all the you don't want to step all over people to get there, because then they won't go with you no matter how good your intentions are. Plenty of my upline and other businesses stepped all over me to get what they wanted. And they used me shamelessly, and they told me lies, and they told me this, and they told me one guy had the nerve when I was doing one business that if I use chewing tobacco, that it'll get me to direct faster. And I believed him.
That depends on how much money was in the chewing tobacco, how much profit was there, and how you were
Right.
using it.
Well, he wanted me to chew on it. He wanted me to use it, chew on it. I told him I'm not going to chew on no tobacco. It'll help you go direct.
Direct where?
Yeah.
Directly there.
Yeah. Well,
Mike, I have to go. I have another call I'm supposed to be on, but I promised him I'd split the time between you and them. So,
Good night, Reverend Dave.
good talking to y'all.
good
Have
night.
a nice evening.
Good night, Reverend Dave.
Good night.
We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Alrighty.
Hi.
Alrighty. Well, I'm not trying to change the subject because the subject seems to be good, but anybody else have anything else they want to ask and bring out tonight, or point out to the group, or ask the group?
Well, I don't have anything I want to ask Mike, but I wanted to add something to the conversation that we had going there
Well, that's fine.
about MLM and network marketing. The way I see it, it in order to prosper with it, you naturally help others. I mean, if you really want to be a success, it's just natural to help others, because helping those below you, usually adds to your bottom line. That's what I like about network marketing. By helping yourself, to help yourself, it's best to help others.
You can't get to the top until you help others. It's just that simple.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
if other
that
people
simple.
would understand that, you know,
Yeah, that's why I think it's such a good system.
if you can't get to the top without helping someone else get there too. You don't have to help a lot. That's the beautiful part of the system. That's the beautiful part of network marketing. You don't have to help a lot of people, but you have to help a few, and you have to teach them to help a few. And when they help a few and teach those to help a few, that few soon becomes a crowd. And that,
Yeah,
somebody told me once a long time ago, if you put a cork in an empty pail, it's just going to sit there all by itself. It's just going to sit there. But if you start pouring water in that pail, that cork's going to rise to the top. And helping other people and helping them to help other people and building a network that way is just like pouring water in your bucket, and you're the cork. You're going to rise to the top.
yeah. That's a good analogy.
That's the reason I've spent most of my networking life trying to help other people get there. I have been less concerned about whether I get there than helping other people get there, because I've found that the more people I help, the more I rise. So if I put my concern into other people, then it just benefits me.
Yeah. Well, that's what all the greats like Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, all of them guys, that's what they tried to get across. You get what you want by helping others.
And the more you help, the more you get.
Yeah. That's what I love about the system. Even if you were a selfish person and only cared about yourself, in order for the system to really work, you have to help others.
I don't want to. I'm not the preacher in the group, John. Reverend Dave is, but in the Bible it teaches that the more you give, the more you'll receive. You know, you you can't give more than you're going to receive, and it's the same thing. If the more people we help succeed, the more people we teach to duplicate what we've learned, then the more we're going to succeed, the more we're going to rise to the top.
Yeah, I know I've referred to it in my writing several times as the secret that's in the white. It's wide open. It's the wide open secret. It's the same thing they've been telling for thousands of years.
Thousands.
Helping others is going to get you what you want.
But the one thing, and so many people don't learn this, haven't learned it. But they come into the industry, and the first thing they see is I gotta have a big team. I gotta have a big group. So the first thing they do is start, and we've experienced it in this group a little bit. Not the people here, but some of the other people in our group that have come and gone actually. But we've experienced the fact that new people get the misconception that what they have to do is they have to go out and sponsor. But they don't seem to understand what the definition of the word sponsor is. They think sponsoring is just signing up people. So they go out and they buy a great big old name list and they blast emails out all around, and they throw up on everybody with their links and write PRs that are nothing but full of links, which is what we've tried to teach people not to do. Because it's not how many, and I've written about this before, but it's not the quantity of people that you sponsor. It's the quality of people that you sponsor, and it's not it's not the quantity, it's the quality of the teaching that you do to the few that you sponsor. And like I said, in Stifort, if you sponsor 2 people, technically, to max out the pay plan, to max it out, to make as much as you possibly can make, well, not as much as possible, but is to get everything that's out there, you don't need to sponsor but 4 people. But that word sponsor is a real critical word. You need to understand the definition of the word sponsor, and that's what so many people don't understand. Sponsor is not, see how many people you can bring in and tell them to go do the same thing. Sponsor is to learn the system and learn and find just a couple, just a few that you can teach to learn what you have learned and duplicate what you've done. And if you do that, they go out and teach a couple each, and they teach a couple each, and pretty soon you filled up a 2x14 matrix. Does anybody know what sponsoring 2 people and teaching them to fill up a 2x14 matrix? You got any idea what kind of income you're talking about there? Somebody asked, they were telling me how, Stifort only pays 25 cents per member in your matrix, and I got a system. I sponsor people and I make $7 or $8 or whatever they was telling me, and I think, yeah, and what's your potential if you really build a system and you really build it right? If you just sponsor 2 people and you build a 2x14 matrix, you're looking at about $16,000 a month. That's probably not going to put you up in Bill Gates category or Warren Buffett. You could take that and get there, but but I think $16,000 a month would be a pretty nice income to, you could get by on it. Uh, Even in today's economy, you could get by on it. So, it doesn't take a whole lot of people, but what it does is take dedication to those people that you do bring in, and teaching them what the system is and how it works, and teaching them how to go out and find just a few people and do the same thing you're doing, helping them teach those, you know, and when you do that, I promise you, we're all going to be walking those beaches of the world Dave was talking about. We're going to be celebrating on the top of the mountain. I'm preaching again. I'll shut up. I think what happens when I get off like that, I think everybody goes to sleep because it's usually quiet when I quit.
Well, I'm listening. I enjoy it. It's motivating.
Me too, Mike. I just put my phone on mute so you're not interrupted by noises.
Well, I hope y'all get something out of what I say when I get started rambling on. But
Me too.
Well, like I say, I find it motivational. That's why I like the calls. Now, there's the camaraderie of the group, but it's motivational too. That's why I always try to get people to engage.
yeah, I do too. And I don't know how to tell everybody out there about what we get out of the calls. You know, I know we don't come out like Marcus Brigham. He's got a set PowerPoint presentation and a set little speech, and he does an absolutely fantastic job. I'm impressed with Marcus Brigham and others. But these calls are we're more laid back, more relaxed, but I think we share with each other from the heart, and what we share, if we take and apply, then we'll all succeed. There we go. We're helping each other, and you can't believe how much I get helped out of these calls. So I learn. Has anybody else got anything they want to talk about besides me running my mouth?
When we first got on here, Reverend David asked me if I had talked to Michelle lately, and I just spoke with her today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of surprised she's not on tonight. She's getting antsy to get back into being active again, real active.
Well, she is more than welcome. You know, she's never completely disappeared, but and she stayed in and worked to help the team and worked to help the group. But we would like to have her more active on the calls and things like that as well, because she has so much to share with everybody.
Well, I think she's going to get active again. She may be looking in a different direction, though. She was kind of like what we were talking about earlier, how people, well, I don't know how to put it. They're just not getting the right education, and they're actually doing the network marketing profession harm
Right.
by the things that they're doing. She wants to change that. She wants to educate people to the right way of network marketing, which is what she always tried to do anyway.
Yep, that's true.
But I think she realizes that all these people, the wall spammers and all that they're actually hurting the profession of network marketing.
That is true.
So that's what we were talking about today, and I think she wants to get more active, and that's why I was kind of surprised she wasn't on tonight. She didn't say she would be on, but I thought she might be because she did say she's going to get active again.
Well, I do know that she's been, when they get posted, she does go back and look and listen to the calls and watch the calls, and there's not much to watch. Even though we're running screen sharing tonight, all it's got is the open screen of the website. But I do know that she goes back and listens to them. So, and there are others too. There are others scattered all around the world in different time zones and things like that. That it's inconvenient for them to be here at this time of night. But we can't find a time of night that'll suit everybody when we're international all the way around the world, all around the globe. So, there are others that come, and that's the reason I try to go to the effort to put them up on the website.
That's what I like about recordings too, is for a while there, everybody wanted you to register for something live, and there might be 3 or 4 good things on at once, and you can't.
That's true.
You can't see them all. So with a recording, you can do it on your time.
That's true. Picking up some noise from somebody there. I don't know who. There it went away. Whoever it was must have muted again, which is the thing to do. Anytime you feel like you're going to bring noise on the line, it is nice and polite to mute out, and then you can always come back in anytime that you have something to add to the conversation, like I said. And that's why I like to keep this line open. I like to keep the mic open for anybody to talk, anybody to speak. And we never know what words of wisdom we gonna pick up. And well, I'm gonna ask anybody else. Ask one more time. Has anybody else got anything you want to bring tonight to the call? I'm open and willing. We have the time. If not, though, I won't hold everybody here all night. It's been a very, very good call, a very educational call tonight, I think, and enlightening and motivational. Marnie, is that you trying to come in?
I just came back in because it was me that was making the noise.
I actually recognized it because I'd heard the noise before. But you're clean now. It sounds real good.
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting it was me. Yeah, no, everything you said is true, because I remember when I first started, I was told I was going to be rich overnight, and I totally believed it. And I lost a lot of money and got discouraged and was told things that wasn't true, and had a couple sponsors I didn't even know were my sponsors, and when I did, they were no help, and I don't know, it just went on for a long time. And then of course, to get you to join something, even if it isn't actually a business, but to join something, they sweet talk you and everything else, and And of course you join, and then the next thing you find out is the total opposite of what you anticipated. Well,
That happens,
I,
unfortunately.
I found out real quick I don't make money overnight, and I found out how to lose money overnight, but not make it.
Well, you've learned a lot of things not to do, right?
Yeah, well,
I'm going to say this about you, Marnie, and I don't know if everybody else knows. And I've known you for several years now, and I know when you first come in, you were pretty green and everything, and you have actually progressed and came a long way. You have really progressed, but so it's you know if everybody was willing to put in the effort and put in the work and to learn the way you've learned. And we talked about several years ago when I first met you, we talked about branding and branding you and stuff like that. Pretty much
yeah.
right now, everybody out there on the net sees your name. They know who you are. They recognize. They've heard from you before. They've seen some of the things you've posted and things like that. You literally have branded yourself and made a name out there for yourself, and it's growing. You're doing great.
I appreciate that. I really haven't done much in the last year, you know that.
Well,
But I'm,
you've still hung in there. You've still done it.
yeah.
Stayed in there and still done the things that need to be done. So
No, I stuck to it just enough to keep going, but I really wasn't into it as much as I wanted to. But it's slowly coming back.
like I said,
So,
we're proud to have known you.
well, thank you. I really appreciate what you said. I really appreciate that, and I enjoy these calls because, as I said, we've got close to each other. And as I said, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago, it would be nice one of these days when we get to meet each other.
Yep, that will be, and that will happen one day.
I believe that. Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything they want to bring out tonight before we close up and call it a quits for the evening? We'll say we will be back here again next Tuesday night. There is a Stifel webinar tonight, tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, and one again on Saturday at noon. I encourage you to stop by and listen to those. I know it's Marcus Brigham pretty much doing the same thing every time, but I listen to them occasionally and I learn something. So, or occasionally I learn something when I listen to them. Let me phrase that right. But it's anyway, they're there, and they are just another excellent tool that you have that you can invite new people, prospects to, and things like that. Because if they get in there and listen to Marcus is going to sponsor them for you. He's just going to do it. He's good. Anyway, with that, if nobody else has anything, it's a little bit early, but we'll call it quits for tonight. And like I said, I look forward to seeing everybody again back Tuesday night.
Okay, well, thank you, Mike, and good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.